Welcome to the Week in Review, the show that brings you up to date on the week that was. Here are the top stories. SBI's profits plunge as it makes up for bad loans. Inflation remains stubbornly high, and Kanimozhi's bail application is denied. We start with a look at the big corporate earnings from the week, beginning with the country's largest bank. State Bank of India's quarterly numbers were the worst in over a decade, shocking analysts and markets. The bank posted a 99% drop in net profit to just 21 crores. The disappointing earnings came on the back of high provisioning, both for bad assets and retirement benefits. Total provisioning shot up 82% to more than 6,000 crores. Chairman Pradeep Chaudhary said sticky assets were one of the bank's biggest concerns in the coming months. But there was also good news for SBI. For one, its net interest margin actually gained, going to 3.32% from 2.26% in the previous year's fourth quarter. And net non-performing assets fell marginally to 1.63% from 1.73%. Moving on to the country's biggest private airline, Jet Airways has descended into losses. The carrier's consolidated net loss was at 210 crores from 225 in the same period last year. That's despite a revenue rise of 15% to 3,656 crores. The gain in revenue came largely from international operations. Meanwhile, Jet blamed soaring fuel prices for its losses. But it's not all gloom and doom for corporate India this week. Bajaj Auto's numbers raced past street estimates. The company made money from its more expensive bikes and even hiked prices across the board by 500 to 1500 rupees per motorcycle. Bajaj Auto's net profit grew 163% to 1400 crores in the quarter ending March. Of course, that figure includes a one-time gain of 827 crores that came from a prepayment of sales tax. But even if you remove that, the company is clearly done well. Adjusted net profit is then 675 crores, which is a 16% increase, and net sales accelerated 23% to more than 4,000 crores. Switching to other news, India may want foreign energy firms to hunt for oil and gas here, but those plans are hitting roadblocks. A company that won rights to prospect for oil and gas in the Bay of Bengal hasn't been able to do any actual exploring. Italian firm E&I says it hasn't started operations because it's waiting for permission from other government ministries. These include the Defense Ministry, which in turn needs clearance from the Department of Space. India's space organization ISRO is concerned because the exploration block lies in an area where its rockets fall. More power to wind power. Two Indian subsidiaries of foreign wind turbine firms have struck a mega deal. Kaparo Energy India has ordered $2 billion worth of wind turbine gear from the Indian unit of Gamesa. The total capacity of the turbines is 2,000 megawatts. Kaparo Energy says the deal is part of its strategy to buy turbines at preferential pricing. Supplies will start in 2012 and end in 2016. Moving on to the economy, new figures show inflation is easing but remains stubbornly high. Figures for April's wholesale price index out on Monday were higher than most estimates. It rose 8.66% on a year-on-year basis. The revised figure for March is just over 9%. Inflation remains a major concern for the government as it considers a cut in fuel subsidies. Finance Minister Pranab Mukherjee has already warned recent hikes in petrol prices will have an impact on inflation. On a more positive note, food inflation has continued to slow down. The food price index stood at 7.47% during the period to the 7th. That's compared to the 7.7% rise the previous week. And here are some stories in brief. The government has ended a major tax sop for exporters. The so-called duty entitlement passbook scheme started nearly 15 years ago rewarded exporters but lost the government an estimated 8,000 crores every year. It will now be phased out by the 30th of June. The deadline for the Cairn Vedanta deal has been extended. Cairn Energy has agreed to push back the last date for concluding the sale agreement. The old deadline was the 20th of May. A new one is yet to be announced. Kanimozhi is behind bars. On Friday, the special CBI court denied her bail application in the 2G spectrum scandal, along with that of Kalaina TV's head, Sharad Kumar. They'll both now remain in custody while the 2G trial continues. And that's all we have for you. Thanks for watching.